welcome to episode 7 of Just Sort of Casual. I hope the sound's working. I am Tibby and Salts, as you can see by my wonderful fancy overlay that I've made. It took me far too long. So yeah, tonight we don't have Beth, unfortunately, because she is doing a hellacious set of shifts this week, as is expected. So she will hopefully be back in the next couple of weeks. So let's get to it. This week is going to be our super exciting special Endwalker pre-release celebration night, because it's out tomorrow, except it's not. So instead we're going to wing it. I didn't want to cancel because I've got all these wonderful guests with us tonight. We have Foxinn from Foxinn Plays. Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Glad to be here.
You good?
Yeah.
Nervous?
A little bit, yeah.
Good. That's what I like to see. We've got Gareth from Dad TV Gaming. How are you?
Doing alright, thanks. How are yourself?
Me, I'm living the dream. And we have the legendary Chille here from Moogle Go Round Radio and everywhere else. And his poop hat.
Yeah, I'm a poop hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So I have been stressing incredibly over this episode about what the hell I'm going to do after I've organised all these wonderful guests. But damn it, I will stick to every 2 weeks. So here we are.
I will add one thing.
Go on.
It proves that it takes at least 3 of us to replace one Beth.
This is accurate.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is accurate.
Yeah. Well, you guys get to take on the role of Beth tonight and keep me in check. I don't think you'll be able to keep me in check in the same way Chloe does, but that's to be expected. So tonight we are just going to kind of have a little chill out session, a little chat. I'm going to talk about let the community get to know you a bit and talk about my experiences in game. So I will start with what I usually ask Beth at this point in the show is what she's been up to this week on Final Fantasy XIV. So I will go around the room and ask that. So we'll start with Chille. What have you been up to in Final Fantasy XIV?
Due to personal reasons, I haven't been on that much.
What?
Well, I haven't been able to see the TV since like Monday. So.
Oh yes, that small issue.
My glasses are a bit damaged right now. I've got them on right now just so that you don't have to see me without them, and so I can read the text a little bit. But gaming has been a problem with that. But no, I've been doing a bit of the Mogtome event still, making Gil and Eureka, because I spent a little bit of money last week in a RP section area.
Do go on.
Video game.
Do go on.
Well, yeah, I found a nightclub that had opened up on Gilgamesh, so I decided to go there. And they're like, "Oh, we have one limited room where it's for like VIPs only." I'm like, "How much?" You're like, 400k. I'm like, "Here you go." They're like, "It's with friends." I'm like, "I don't have friends. I'll just go up there anyway." So I sat up there on my own watching everyone dance, and then I gave them another load of money. Like 600k.
Did you RP on your own?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
One of the hosts came up and sat with me because they decided that was probably the best.
Oh,
yeah, I was out there with an Aura girl.
Nice.
Best million I've ever spent.
I've still never been to one of these in-game nightclubs, you know. I need to sort that out. They're always on at ungodly hours.
They're not that bad.
Yeah, but come on, it's already close to my bedtime. So, you know. What about you, Foxinn? What have you been doing? I think you've been busy.
Yeah, I've been really busy this week. Did 5.4 and 5.5 and 5.5 in the last few days, just to catch up for this podcast so we could talk about it. So, I've just been getting through the story this week. I'm still processing it, to be honest. I was crying at 5 a.m. this morning.
It's quite heavy.
The cutscenes. Yeah, it is heavy. But no, it's been really good.
Yeah?
I can't wait to talk about it later. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, we can do that. And what about you, Gareth? How's it? I assume you prefer Gareth. Everyone calls you Dad.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's weird to me calling you Dad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Gareth's fine. What have I been up to? There's been a lot. Sorting out. I spent quite a bit of time actually sorting out different outfits in game, specifically for nightclubs. And then I guess dabbling into a bit more raiding.
Yes.
Really, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I miss raiding.
I've only just started.
Yeah. So that's.
My group broke up about 2 months ago, and I've only just got a new group, so.
You planning on raiding in Endwalker, I take it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I have been. What have I been doing? Well, Gareth and Foxinn will know because I've only been on game when I've been streaming, or in someone else's stream. So, going back a couple of weeks, I got my first Savage clear E9S. That was an experience, to say the least. Very clippable stream, wasn't that, Gareth?
It was some good screams.
Yeah, some good screams. I should make that some kind of mobile phone alert or something.
I'm strange, but I think Savage 9 is easier than normal 9.
Well, thanks. Don't ruin this for me, Chille. Don't ruin this.
Well, no, I'm just saying it because Savage 9 is. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard still. But I find Savage 9 easier than normal just because tiles in normal still happen. And you've got no organisation in normal mode versus Savage where you've planned where you stood.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen people die so many times in normal mode because everyone's just running around with tiles and not actually standing in positions.
I would actually agree that having gone back to normal, now that I know Savage, it's easier. Because you actually learn the pattern, whereas in normal everything's kind of just happens at random intervals.
Yeah.
I went back and cleared.
I'm not saying that
earlier.
All right.
I must have rezzed people 10 times in that fight. It was so chaotic.
See,
that's.
Go on.
It's count. No, it's okay.
I was just saying that I last got a bit of. I've only had Burnout once with this game, and that was at the end of 5.1. And that's because I'd done Shadowbringers, and it was the first time I'd been at proper end game. So I did Eden loads of times, the first tier, and then I didn't come back till 5.3. So I just got through the rest of them. I've only done them once, so I don't know them. I know the Savage fight probably better than I do the normal fight at this point. So that's probably back to what you were saying, Chille. We did go into E12S, and that was a thing that happened. I don't know where to start with that one. It's just chaos, utter chaos.
What was it you said at one point? You were asking Tez about the safe zone. Tez said it was random, and you said, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I'm not very confident in game. I'm getting better, but I'm not. So I like to, I'll ask the questions and I'll say, what actually happens in this phase? Are they just north and south? And then I got the explanation that they were completely random. They were just opposite. That's all you need to know. I went, oh yeah, thanks, wonderful. That's just what I wanted to hear. So yeah.
Wait till you get to numbers.
What, in E12?
Yeah.
There's numbers?
Yeah.
There's numbers.
Oh,
from what I've seen, yes.
Oh god.
Statue phase. I haven't been in for a while, so I don't remember all the mechanics exactly, but there's 2 statues, and they split you up into 2 groups, and then you've got to face away from the group. But then there's also another AoE that happens during the last part of that. So if you're the last number, you have to do your number and the AoE at the same time. And also you got to make sure you're on the right side of the room.
It's kind of similarish to Diamond EX with the numbers on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of like Omega, because Omega had numbers as well.
I want to go back and do Omega because I did them all unsynced, basically solo or with a group of 2. And I'd like to do them properly.
Omega
I still need to
Savage
get
was
through the last 2.
Oh, they're good fights. You should do it.
Yeah, we'll. Oh, we did it. We've cleared an Omega Savage, unsynced.
Yeah.
But we still did it. But yeah, that was. So it's been fun. This whole foray into raiding. I've kind of got a thirst for it now. Even though I won't be playing Tank next X-Pack, which is kind of sad because I'd got used to Gunbreaker, but I'm excited I get to try out Reaper at least. So, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to ask a few questions just to get it off started. I'm still I will try and keep it conversational because that's kind of the whole thing with this podcast. But I want to know about you guys. So I'm going to start with the new kid on the block, as it were, Foxinn. Now don't worry, because I'm still a new kid on the block too. You're just about 2 months ahead of me, that's all. Because I found it funny when you started streaming again, you were asking all the questions I was privately asking Chille to get me started. So that's why I was kind of so eager to help. Yeah, Susan's noticing my my attempt at punnery in chat. So, Foxinn, how did you get into Final Fantasy XIV? Are you an MMO player historically, or are you a Final Fantasy fan long term, or just a general kind of gamer?
Well, truth be told, other than the 7 remake, I've never played another Final Fantasy game.
All right.
I've been an MMO gamer for a long time. I tried Final Fantasy back in Stormblood on console. I got up to the end of ARR, but I just I think I burnt out. I was on my own, so I didn't bother. Recently, I've come back with the WoW refugees. So WoW is not in a good place right now.
No, it is not.
Just wanted to give Final Fantasy another go, and now that I've tried it on mouse and keyboard, I get along with it a lot better. And well, the rest is history there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
It's safe to say it's got its hooks in then.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
One of us.
Yeah. Join us.
For the greater good.
Well, see, you had a similar experience to me because it's weird. I've got all the kind of collector's editions because I've tried this game so many times. So I got 1.0. I got the collector's edition 1.0 to kind of start off, and obviously universally everyone probably knows by now how bad 1.0 was.
Yeah.
But I had the added disadvantage of I didn't know how to MMO. I didn't know what tank meant. I didn't know what DPS meant. So I just had no idea. I was just trying to go and hit things and get through the game, and it didn't work well. So I kind of abandoned ship. But because I pre-ordered it on the PS3 as well, I basically got it for free on the PS3 when the 2.0 beta came out. So I played on that one, and then I got super anxious and played with other players and was so scared of dying every time that I ran away from the game. And I never played it again until Stormblood came out. Honestly, I am a bag of neuroses and worry when it comes to playing any form of multiplayer game. But I like to think I hide it quite well.
I think so.
Yeah? You think?
Yeah.
So why did you want to start streaming, Fox?
It's something I've always wanted to try, because I've always kind of enjoyed playing games with people.
Mm-hmm.
But I would never have done it if it weren't for the push from the FC, to be honest. So I think it was always something I kind of wanted to give a go, but knowing how saturated it is in general, I never thought anybody would ever be interested in watching me. But then I got into the FC and I was pushed by Gareth, the one and only, to do it. And,
what do you mean?
And I've had so much support, and it's brought me closer to the FC as well. So I think, and everybody else who's not in the FC. So it's become a really social thing for me now. It's not about followers or viewers or anything like that. It's just about hanging out with people that also kind of love the things I love. So yeah.
Yeah, it's changed how I've recently moved over to Moogle to hang around with the Agents of Chaos, our FC, and it's completely changed how I play the game. I played with my friend Quail. And she got me through the game when I first came back. I was the aforementioned wreck, but she got me through dungeons and all the kind of raid content that I needed to do. So I kind of felt really bad, like, moving, but she couldn't follow me because she's got an FC house and a personal house, and obviously that's not something you readily sacrifice in this game.
No, not right now.
Nope.
So, but I came up with you guys, and it's changed, like, how I play it. Like, I've never... These community nights and voice chat while you play, it's like...
It's amazing, isn't it?
Change everything.
Because I've always played MMOs, but I've always played on my own or with one other person, and like, people always tell you it's such a kind of social game, but you never really realize how much of a difference it makes until you kind of get a group that you click with and that you start doing stuff with, and then it just completely changes everything. I'd easily say this is my favorite game now, not just because of the game, but because of the people I play with.
Yeah.
Without getting too soppy, you know.
No, it's
save that for later.
I will add though that this game is good for people that do want to play solo. Even if you even want to step in because you play fantasy games and you're not a big fan of communities, you're a solo player. You want to play it because you played all the other ones, with the trust system, with the squadron system, with all the different ways to play on your own. There are ways to enjoy this game rather than just being with everyone else. Although I think it's better playing with other players. It's good that it fits other people's play styles as well.
Oh,
completely. When I was going through 2.0 and 3.0 back in the day, I was in an FC, but they were all of the US. So you can, at the time, I was actually in Turkey. So you can imagine the time difference was significant. So yeah, I went through the entirety of it on my own. So no, it definitely works solo.
Yeah, trusts especially were a massive game changer for me. The way they kind of the level of immersion they added for me, certainly, because you feel like you're adventuring with the scions who you're interacting with in cutscenes and stuff. But then, like, going back, and I've done some dungeons with Foxinn as you were progressing through the story, and then seeing, like, characters in your FC, like, in the cutscenes, like in the dungeon ones. That's also, like, really cool for people who, like, especially if you're invested in the story. It feels like you're kind of adventuring with your friends. It works so well.
The immersion is a huge thing for me. I cannot believe how well they do it.
Yeah.
It just would not be the same if you were just another kind of nameless adventurer on the side.
Yeah.
I think it adds so much to it that you bond with these characters and you grow with them and you go through so much with them. It's like, I mean, everyone knows what I mean. I don't really need to say it, but it's just, like, incredible. The storytelling, especially just finishing Shadowbringers, my mind is still in shambles at the story, to be honest.
You're just a hollow wreck at this point.
I am, yeah.
Go on, Chille.
I'm strange compared to a lot of people. You brought up the trust system as what you like, but I actually prefer the squadron system over the trust.
All right, why's that?
Yeah, the scions are cool and all, and it's nice that you get to have lore with them, but I like having the squadron because you can hire, like, your own squad.
Yeah.
Like, you will get random NPCs, you can pick who and choose who you want to have in your team. You level them up with you just like you do the trusts. I don't know, I just prefer that more than just having the scions.
But I suppose it works, though. I suppose I get it. Like, is it in the sense that, like, you're almost... It's you're still getting a different level of immersion from it because you're playing, like, your Warrior of Light, and, like, in your head, you're, like you say, you're hiring a team. So, like, these are your men that your men and women that you've kind of you've hired and you're taking them through. So that is another. I've never thought of it like that, to be honest. But the squadrons have been valuable for the journey to 80 that I did.
The squadrons would definitely be my favourite if we were able to recruit Sadu.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, she would.
It would be cool if they added just, like, random NPCs from the game that you could have, like, a low chance of having appear.
Oh, see, that whole thing reminded me of, I don't know if any of you guys ever played any of the Metal Gear games on the PSP. Any of you played any of them?
Acid?
Portable Ops?
No, Portable Ops and Peace Walker.
didn't play Peace Walker.
You can unlock the player characters for missions, and it's just kind of a cool little bonus, I guess. Get to do missions as Ocelot and things like that. But that's I'm wondering if like in the future, like they've said they're planning for like 10 more years of content, aren't they? They're gonna have to find a way to make ARR onwards playable like quickly, I guess, without removing the story. I mean, I know like it's going to be a clean cut essentially after Endwalker, isn't it? So they could just say you could start from there maybe. What do you guys think they might do? You can go, Gareth, first.
I've been trying to figure out what they're going to do because, well, first off, we have no idea where it's even going to go. Like, I've been trying to figure out is there any clue of where it's even going to go in 6.1. So if you imagine having to go through, like I love ARR. I think ARR is great. Personally.
Agreed.
But going through ARR, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and then Endwalker just to start the story that everyone else is up to is not going to be a good thing for most people.
Yeah.
So I suspect there's going to be, well, obviously there's going to be story skips, but I suspect there'll be something where you can just buy the game and start from there because I think they're going to have to.
Yeah, and they can't expect people to pay for the story skips. I'm wondering if maybe they'll bundle it in, like you get a free story skip that you can use if you want to.
It's quite possible.
What would you think, Chille? Like, what do you see him doing something similar to that, or?
For me, I don't think it's going to be it's going to be a story skip, but not in the way I think you both are talking about.
Okay.
For me, I feel like when you make a new character, you'll get an option to start with the new storyline that started in 6.1.
Mm-hmm.
Or start with Realm Reborn. You can pick one or the other. So technically you can skip a Realm Reborn if you want to start with the new story. But then there'll be an NPC in the starter zones. Say you pick the new one, the Endwalker MSQ, your 6.1 or whatever it's called. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's just say you pick that one as your new character starting there. Then in your starting zones, Oldar, Limsa, and for some reason all the Fantasy 11 names are in my head, even though they're not. Gridania. All those have an NPC where you can then start the 2.0 storyline.
All right.
So
kind of like an NPC based for New Game Plus.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. I have no idea. I'm absolutely crap at theory crafting. That's why I got you guys to do it for me.
Cheers.
So
I hate doing theory crafting because whenever I get something right, they say it's a leak.
Oh yeah, there's a running internet joke for anyone who doesn't know that Chille in fact works for Square Enix.
Right.
He has a habit of guessing things that happen. So where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'm saying.
I hate getting leaks. I hate getting theories right.
I have the opposite problem. Everything I thought was going to happen, I was so confident that certain things in Shadowbringers were going to happen, and I was so wrong. It was quite embarrassing, to be honest.
It was quite fun, though.
Oh yeah,
it was fun.
Definitely fun.
It always kept me on my toes, that's for sure.
Some put the theory that Emmerich continues to be hot.
I think that's a safe bet.
We could get horribly maimed. I mean, I don't judge horribly maimed individuals, but could have an accident with it.
Would that stop him from being hot?
No, I suppose not. I mean, Raban's was hot with his one arm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I agree.
I hear noises. I think it's fine.
Well, we're talking, so hopefully.
all right, settle down. So back onto the. By the way, these tangents are planned, but I'm going to go back to Gareth again, and I want to ask you. I've heard you used to be a retro game streamer, correct? Called BitDad, is that right?
16-bit Dad, yes.
16-bit Dad, yeah.
Correct.
So, what's the deal? Why is the change? Because you certainly limited your gaming options.
I certainly did. So yeah, I used to be a variety streamer. I playing pretty much any retro game that I wanted. Played mostly JRPGs and a good chunk of the Final Fantasy franchise, surprisingly enough. For anyone who knows me, I may be a fan of this franchise. But to be completely honest, but after about 2 years of doing that, I realised that when I was pressing go live, I was thinking, do I have to go live?
Oh,
and yeah, it was draining me. So I was almost ready to be done with it. And then one day I thought, you know what? Let's see how I feel going back to FF14, because I'd had a break from the game for about 4 years by then. And I thought, let's just try it. Let's see. And I went live with FF14, and the very next day I went live again, and again,
and again,
and again, and then I think I did 1 year of being live 7 days a week.
Oh wow, that's quite the streak.
Without missing one.
Wow. So it's safe to say this game got its hooks in you then?
Yeah. Back in me.
So what's your what is retro to you? Because it's gonna get warped. Because as I get older, and I talk to people who are younger than me, in my head they're the same age. Like my colleagues at work, like this new lad started, and he's 21, and I'm 35. But in my head, he's my age because he's doing the same job I'm doing. So, but retro to him is like PS3. so
not that bad, Tim. Come on.
A couple of stories I can tell you there. First off, for ease, when I was doing it, I said basically anything that was 10 years or older, I would count.
Okay.
Because then it was a moving target. It'd always unlock other things. That was how I did it. That then I think that hit me when I then realised that FF9 was 20 years old.
Yeah.
That hit me a bit, and then what really scared me was when I realised that 10-year mark included Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah, it's like that meme that came out a few months ago about what you expect Final Fantasy to be 21 years ago versus what it actually is. That's the Freeze is calling us all boomers. I guess you're accepted from that, Fox.
Well, then I can really lead into that, because there's someone I used to work with. He was my second in command, I guess. So he's quite high up in the agency that I work at, and he refused to watch Lord of the Rings because they were 2 old movies.
Wow.
He was 19, and he was born after Friends ended.
It's just, yeah.
What a sad life.
And I was just like, what? No.
What is this?
That's not possible. Why aren't you like in kindergarten?
Yeah, why are you a baby? Yeah, okay. So next, I want to say how so when it comes to streaming myself, I gave this a go because I was kind of in a bit of a rut in just gaming in general, and I play a game because that's what I do to escape. I need to escape from this kind of daily grind that is work and stuff. But I just wanted to kind of add a bit more, like, I guess, like, you know, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Well, I'm a junkie for nostalgia. And one of the things that I missed, like, from my childhood was when you kind of, you go around to your mates on a weekend and you'll sit and play games and you'll talk about the game, and that's just your life that weekend. And I thought that's the reason I got into streaming, was just kind of talk to people while I was gaming. And then it kind of, I got onto the idea of podcasting. Now, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I always thought I could do a podcast, and then you never do, because that's what you do in life. You think you can do something, and then you just think you can do something, and nothing ever changes. So I managed to kind of rope Beth into doing a Final Fantasy podcast, because I wasn't brave enough to do it on my own. And this, like, I'd say I enjoy podcasting now more than I do streaming. I mean, I why not both? You know, that's my attitude at the moment. But podcasting has just like completely changed like my life in terms of what I can do. So that's going to lead on to is Chille, these serial podcasts. Like, why did you get into podcasting? Like, why? What aspect of it drew you to it?
You do podcasting.
Yeah, and I've heard you like so you do like to do a couple of podcasts now and again.
Yeah, I do a couple here and there. I think I'm over like 700 episodes in total. It's just a couple.
That's obscene. That's obscene.
But no, for anyone that doesn't know, I work for a website called PlayStation Universe. We do reviews, and anyway, back in the day, there was a podcast on that site that was being run by some other people. It was a completely different brand at the time. Well, the website was the same brand, but the podcast was a different brand. Anyway, I thought, well, I like to talk. I like video games. Maybe I could be on the podcast. Anyway, been on there for a few months. The host had to leave for reasons. So we gave it 6 months, and we decided that we should really bring back the podcast. So I ended up becoming one of the main hosts for that podcast. And then I got into Final Fantasy and realized, well, I've been doing podcasts for like 3 or 4 years now. What if I try my own Final Fantasy podcast? Well, should I say I was guest host on another podcast for Final Fantasy. And then I ended up making a spin-off podcast, which we now call Moogle Go Round, which was actually a spin-off of the other podcast. But basically what happened, they had 4 hosts. One of the hosts kept having to go away because of illness. So I ended up being a guest for that host. And then he left, so I replaced him. And then they wasn't sure who to have as the replacement host, me or Paul. So they decided to have a separate podcast with Paul and me. And I was going to split off originally, but nobody else joined the other podcast. So I ended up being on 2 podcasts. And that's how it happened.
Yeah.
And then I left the other podcast and was persuaded pushing Moogle Go Round.
And now here you are.
Yeah, here
yeah.
I am.
Well, Moogle Go Round was my first podcast experience, and that's where I really kind of thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. Do you notice that I censored myself there? That's a dad trick, is that, censoring yourself.
I haven't learned that yet.
You haven't learned it? Oh, I have, because not only do mine repeat everything, but my wife would have things to say that would probably also need censoring. So this is good. Do you think we're doing well so far? You know, I've got a nice kind of flow going, doing the professional thing and discussing how the podcast's going. I'm quite pleased with this so far. I'm sorry I'm not interacting everyone in chat. That I've heard that you're not supposed to interact with chat in podcasts. But you're thanks you all for coming. I do appreciate it.
I'm trying not to read the chat because I can't listen to 2 things. I can't like read and listen to what you're saying.
It's really hard, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
See, I'm so used to doing it now that I Moogle Go Round. Look, I'll tell everyone, don't interact with your chat too much because stay on topic. But then you go onto Moogle Go Round, and anytime anyone makes a suggestion, we're like, hi, yeah, sure, hi, how are you doing?
I was going to say, me and Chille totally aren't reading chat.
Yeah.
Totally not chatting in chat as well.
No, we're not chatting.
I was going to say something. Come on, you've got this tip. Don't forget what you were going to say. So, come on, I've got notes. Look, you see my notes?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I've tried to move my camera away so I can't see my ugly face.
Yeah.
I have the chat popped up, but I can't see myself.
Well, what I was going to ask was, this is another one towards Gareth. Sorry, you're getting a lot of questions today. I just want to know, like, so you say you got into the game and it kind of got its hooks in you. What made you think of the Barracks and making, if in case anyone doesn't know, the Barracks is a Discord server that's kind of main focused, is it fair to say, is kind of helping Sprouts and making it kind of a safe space where you can kind of ask questions and, you know, help people through content, things like that, if you're able. What was the kind of thinking behind that?
There's actually one very specific moment, because obviously I had the Discord server before anyway, because, you know, every streamer has a Discord server. That's
the rule.
It's just what happens. But then I was like, it's kind of pointless just having one for the sake of having one, and I wasn't sure what to do with it. And then one day I was in FF14 and I was walking around. I was in Gridania and someone put a shout out asking, "Do you know where to get the mail? Where can I find the place for the mailbox?" And no one responded. So I responded and I said, "Where are you? Let me come find you. I'm not very good at explaining things." And I took them to where it was. And they were so happy about just getting that little bit of help. I thought, well, you know what? Maybe people actually need somewhere to just ask these questions and get some answers. So that's what I thought I would do.
And now
I will say, as someone who is the newest of the four of us, I don't think the novice network is very good.
It's not.
I found it to be way more condescending than helpful. I left almost as soon as I got into it. It was much easier to join the FC and the barracks and just ask there.
Well, when I came back, because I'd been away for so long, I got the returner status and was immediately thrown in a novice network. If considering we're talking about censoring, I maybe shouldn't say the stuff that I saw immediately on there, but I left within about 2 minutes.
Yeah. It's not a nice place, is it?
No.
A wretched...
I don't know. I've not had any issues with Novice Network when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh, really?
No.
Good old devil's
At least
advocate.
I only have access to it on Primal and Aether.
Yeah.
So, look, I might be in England, but I play on the North American servers.
Oh yeah, well, this is where the other internet rumor about Chille comes from, in the fact that you don't sleep, and that you're in fact part machine or all machine.
You can see I'm real. I'm human.
Yeah.
I am human.
It could be a hologram.
Phasing in and out.
We can see with a poop hologram on your head. The poop.exe.
It's an accessory I bought on the real money trade.
Yeah.
I mean, I can disappear if need be. It's a bit of work. No.
Right, there you go. There you go. So, yeah, this is the kind of you look at the kind of big podcasts out there like Aetherite Radio, and they're all very, very, very good podcasts. So this is what I'm trying to emulate with my professionalism here, and I like to think we've got it perfect. What do you think?
All I'm going to say is you want to be professional, and you brought me on.
And me.
Yeah, exactly. All four of us, we're a dream team right here. We just need Beth in the middle.
There's a reason the FC is called the Agents of Chaos.
Yes, that's fair.
I'm wearing a literal poop hat. Which, by the way, if anyone wants to know, I know I'm bragging here, I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
I recently was part of the media tour, which meant I was one of the few people that was lucky to interview Yoshi P. And there was only two of us in the call, Yoshi P, the translator, Foxinn, and Adam, which is one of the community managers. And I'm sat there in Zoom at 3 a.m. in the morning with my poop hat on. In front of Yoshi P.
Living the dream. Did he even comment on it?
Nobody commented.
No.
I did. It was funny though. It was like it was like a 20-minute interview.
Yeah.
And I spent I spent 17 minutes asking questions, and then the last 3 minutes I'm like just telling him thank you.
Oh, you big sweetie.
He's not going to forget that poop hat.
No, never.
We're not having him back on.
It's called leaving a mark, is actually. As long as the mark isn't related to the poop hat, we're good.
I'm glad you went there. I was going to.
Yeah, no. Even we can do toilet humour here. It's fine, because it's categorically hilarious. Right. Okay. So next, so this was meant to be we were meant to be all kind of talking and getting really excited for Endwalker, which was meant to be coming out tomorrow. I'm mainly over the disappointment. I have no bitter feelings towards it, but it was still kind of sucky, because you're allowed to feel disappointed about stuff. So what we're going to do that. Sorry, I read something in chat.
I saw it as well.
So what I want to know is like what we'll go with Chille. I think we'll start with Chille. What is your kind of favorite like story memory that you've got through playing Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 14, like in-game plot wise? Because we kind of vaguely a lore podcast, so I've got to ask some kind of lore related stuff.
Oh man!
If anyone wants to jump in and give Chille time to think, that's also fine.
Yeah, if anyone got anything on top of their heads.
I mean, I know exactly what my 3 favourite parts of the entire story are.
Go for it then.
Well,
so number 1 is the end of Coil, and it's something I think everyone needs to see. The end of Coil was phenomenal, and the way it tied everything from that final 1.0 cutscene into what's going on now it blew my mind. The second one I can sum up with the merging of 2 characters at the end of Shadowbringers.
Oh, that's a good one.
that's a good one.
But my favourite one of all is actually a 2-part one. The first is the transformation of Tesleen, and the second is Holminster. I will never forget that.
What part of Holminster specifically? With the light, the light being cut away. Yeah.
The actual boss.
Yeah.
Where you kill Tesleen.
Oh yeah, that was pretty heavy.
On Holminster, when the light in the sky like splits and you get darkness again, that was the first part that actually made me cry, because you hear the music, don't you? And they say about how you can restore hope to the first, and God, it hit hard, that did.
Yeah. No, I
think Tesleen hit me harder because, like, let's be honest, if you think about sad moments, most people are going to go to that one moment in Heavensward.
Yeah.
But for me, in that bit, you were just an agent. You were just watching it happen. It's horrifying, but you're watching it happen. But in Shadowbringers with Tesleen, you're the one who has to do it.
Yeah.
That's so much worse.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, I think my moments. I think one of mine is the opposite of yours, basically. Like yours was basically the start of Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
Well, mine, I think one of my favourite moments has got to be the end of 5.3 when you're wrapping things up and saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they did that really well.
Yeah. Although I will say one thing. Can just Thancred not give a bastard hug to the poor girl instead of the bloody head pats? God, I was just screaming like, just give her a hug. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, I for the most part I agree with you actually.
Yeah. And I also like I can't remember. I think it was Stormblood. The Rawbon fight scene, not the Rawbon fight scene, but like the fight scene where you're going in like a mock battle and you're battling all the different like armies, and it ends with Rawbon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know people don't like that, but I like when my character shows off how powerful he is, just because he's a Lalafell. And it's always funny when I fight these really tall, like main story characters.
Yeah.
It's why I'm one of the few people that like Xenos. Just because I love the idea of him parrying with my little Lalafell, because at the time I was a monk.
All right.
So the idea of him like swinging his giant samurai sword and me like blocking it with 2 fingers and then trying to punch him. Blocking something that's like 5 times bigger than I am.
Yeah. I'm like more than I expected. I've created an alt on Ether so I can play with you guys occasionally. And playing as a Lalafell's completely different, like experience. I found, just because like the camera angle and like you say, it's so small. It's just so weird.
I find it better for PvP.
Oh really?
You're also a ninja, so you get to be an airplane when you run.
I do, yeah. With the Naruto run, yeah. What's your favourite bit, Foxinn?
They're probably all going to be Shadowbringers because it's still so fresh.
It's fair.
I guess I have 2 big points in Shadowbringers that kind of stuck out for me. And that was obviously heavy spoilers for anyone who's not done Shadowbringers.
Oh yeah, I should have done that. But yeah, spoilers, obs. There may be discussion of Endwalker trailers that have come out, so just a warning there.
I think the first one that got me, and it gets me the more I think about it as well, is the whole thing with Amarot. And just everything about Amarot, it like the more you think about it, and like the more it kind of hits you that these Ascians and these ancients were just normal people, and we would have done the exact same thing in that situation. And I think, like, I realized today that the music in Amarot, it has like this kind of ominous like ticking of a clock at the start, and I realized that's because it's like it's a moment that's like frozen in time.
Yeah.
And it's just like the whole atmosphere is amazing, and the whole lore with Emmett, I still don't fully understand it, but it gets me. And I think the second big part, similar to Chille, was the end of 5.3, the Seat of Sacrifice, the end of the tower in particular. Yeah, that's what I was sobbing at 5 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, do you watch it again?
It's so powerful. Yeah. 5.3 is probably, in my opinion, the best patch in the whole game. For story. I don't think there's a single patch in any of the expansions that beats that for me.
No?
It does have my favourite quote, which was the rains have ceased.
Oh yeah, that's that made me cry. Yeah. I didn't think...
I was going to say that exact same thing.
What I said earlier about like some of my theories that I just got completely wrong, I had heard that the Warrior of Light was an instance or like a fight long before I even got to Shadowbringers. I didn't know what it was, but it was accidentally spoiled for me, so I was like speculating the whole expansion.
Oh, that was fun.
And I really thought that when we kind of fight Vothri and we start to get overcome by the light, I really thought we were going to have to like fight a kind of evil version of ourselves there and then. I would never have guessed in a million years that Elidibus would end up being the Warrior of Light. It just completely threw me off. It was amazing.
Yeah,
honestly.
it was really well done, wasn't it?
If you want to do that, by the way, try out Dark Knight. Wink, wink.
I've heard the story is amazing for Dark Knight.
Yeah, definitely. Oh god, don't get me started on job quests, because I'm going to really miss them. I know nobody asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway. My favourite story bit that's kind of stuck with me the most is actually from ARR, like the Bloody Banquet. Is that what it's called?
Okay. Yeah.
Because that was the first point that I thought your character, like, it's more than just an MMO. That was the kind of point where like stuff's actually happening. There's like, it's not just nodding and reading text and nodding and bad voice acting. I mean, to be fair, the budget was a whole different thing back then. It's not, the voice actors are actually really accomplished voice actors, but the kind of stuff they had to like work with was just so limited. I'm assuming that was kind of the my next favourite bit was... Go on.
Fun fact about the voice actors, none of them meet each other, really.
Do they not even like spin lines with each other?
No, they don't. They get. I know that, at least I know that the Rawbon's voice actor and Pippin's voice actor have never met, and most of the times they're just given time slots, and then one person will go in, do their lines, leave, and then later on in the day or whatever, the next one will go in.
Wow.
At least, back in the day.
Well, I suspect it's probably similar, especially. I mean, you can notice it. Is it 5.4? Like the voices just sound weird because they're all like working from home.
Yeah,
I brought that up on stream. I wasn't sure, like I couldn't put my finger on it. It just sounded a bit different. And then I was told that it was filmed during the pandemic, and it kind of recorded during the pandemic, and it kind of blew my mind that it was actually that recent, and that I'm not as far behind everyone else as I thought I was. Yeah.
It is. It's all this year, isn't it? Just.
Vicky Abbey said, Fancred's voice actor said he hopes to meet Rin's voice actor. Yeah, they don't meet each other at all.
It's just, it's kind of sad, isn't it? Especially like if they really get into the role, like, they really kind of care about, the characters they're playing. I mean, voice acting is something that's always fascinated me. I know I've mentioned it twice in this podcast already, but like when I first played Metal Gear Solid on the PS1, that was when I kind of realised like video games themselves like are like a valid media form for telling stories. And since then I've just been obsessed with like voice actors and like finding out where they fit in stuff and how they kind of what stuff they've done. Yeah, so that leads me on to like one of my other favourite bits. Is it's not a specific moment, but it's when we got to Almeda. Now, I kind of see both sides of the whole Stormblood argument that people have about whether the reasons they don't like it, the reasons they do like it. But like, I really wanted more Almeda. Like, as soon as they start speaking with the Northern Yorkshire accent, like I am fully invested in this area.
Your home.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted.
Hey, I am from North Yorkshire too.
You are an honorary Yorkshireman, Chille. I just want to like go down pub with Ralbarn, get a pint.
Fine, I will also talk like I want to go down to pub with Ralbarn.
See, that's amazing. Oh.
Never again. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's I don't know. There's something about it. Like it's just homely. I don't know what it is.
I agree.
And that
all the desert area.
You what? Sorry.
It's all the desert area.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's what speaks. That's Yorkshire. Hot, humid, dry, and arid, and yeah. No, that's not true. And the last bit I'll mention, which was a huge bit that kind of got me emotionally, was the Seto and Ardbert reunion.
Oh yeah.
The voice actor like who played Seto was like low-key one of the best in Shadowbringers. Like the emotion he put into an Amaro was just like, that was when I decided I have to have an Amaro mount.
I think that bit got me as well, unexpectedly.
Yeah. Someone just said you'd have to give Ralbarn a hand to get the drinks in. That's low hanging fruit there. Low hanging fruit.
It's okay. What do you call it? Nanamo will be sat on his shoulder and she can carry the drinks.
like a parrot. Although I suppose if Ralbarn's a Yorkshireman, it'd be a ferret or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that mean Nanamo stinks?
So is Nanamo a ferret now? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. I think Lalafels could be kind of ferrets, I guess. Maybe.
I don't know if I should accept this.
No. Do you feel attacked, Chille? Okay, so this is another general question. We'll start with let's start with Gareth again, because he likes the pressure. What are you most looking forward to in Endwalker? Easy question.
Okay, so obviously the easiest answer is the story, but you know what? There's more than that.
Oh yes.
Apart from the story, apart from the raids, apart from the obvious things, what I'm really, really looking forward to is the PvP.
Okay.
I cannot wait for it. I think Crystal Conflict is going to be phenomenal, and I think the way they've done the reward system and everything is going to potentially bring so many more people in. I'm so excited about it that I'm going to be starting an FC PvP team. I can't wait.
Dibs.
Which server are you on again?
Chaos Moogle.
Wait, Chaos.
Yeah,
Chaos.
Moogle.
I could do that.
Yeah, you have one. You have
I can't
your.
do UFC, but I can do that. I'm in Shadowbringers right now on Chaos.
There you go then. But yeah, PvP sounds. Sorry, yeah, it's wasted on me as PvP because I'm not a multiplayer gamer. He says playing an MMO. It's not something I've kind of. I think the closest thing I was at university. I played Halo 3, but that was like, I was playing it with someone sat next to me at the same time, so it never felt like I was playing online.
I think this might be a good time for you when Crystal Conflict comes out. It's 6.1, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going to be a just sort of casual PvP content, so...
Yeah, perfect. Just sort of casual.
Yeah, just sort of casual.
Yeah, just sort of casual.
What about you, Chille? What are you thinking?
As I said, we could easily do story, but let's not do that.
No. That's an easy...
I'm looking forward to the new raid, if I'm honest. I'm interested to see what Pandemonium is like. We saw a little bit of it in the live letter recently, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what it's going to be.
Oh, don't even get me started on La
I
Habrea.
see some Fantasy 9 like inspired stuff with it.
Yeah. That can we all agree that La Habrea got done dirty, right?
I have my theories on La Habrea.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say anything because I don't know who's seen launch trailers and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. I'll see
My wild speculation's always been that. I guess this is complete wild speculations, but I guess in a way spoilers.
Yeah, because it'll happen because Chille's saying it. Yeah.
Because we're going to the moon. I always pictured it as like his La Habrea's secret laboratory because we know what he liked to do back in the day.
Wait, we're going to the moon?
Wait, what?
Yeah, we're going to the moon. I know, spoilers. But no, I thought it was going to be like his underground base, like where he's kept some of his creations that he wasn't supposed to create. And it's on the moon because that way it didn't get sundered then, maybe. Because Zodiac is there.
Okay. See, the more I look at that Endwalker logo, the more it looks like it's not the moon. Have you any thoughts on that? Like, I think if you look at the logo, it looks like just a big pit, like a big hole. Like,
to me, it looks like the moon and a badly drawn version of the Millennium Falcon.
To me, it looks like the moon. It looks like the moon during the lunar cry, but just black and white.
Oh yeah, okay. When they all kind of swell to the middle, and then they kind of like ooze off the moon. Is ooze the correct term?
I don't think it is. I think it was flowing or something like that.
Flowing is not better than oozing at this point. And on that note, Fox, what are you looking forward to for Endwalker?
I'm surprised Gareth didn't say this. I'm looking forward to the new glams.
Yes.
Glams like hairstyles, all the fun collectible stuff. I'm looking forward to, and Sage is a big one for me as well. I'm really excited for Sage in particular. Then I'm excited to see all the trials, new mounts, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, everything.
Yeah,
everything.
no, that's fair. Everything is an acceptable answer.
But the more I think about it, the more stuff I get excited for. So it's hard to pinpoint, but yeah, really excited for Sage in particular.
I know it feels like doing this on purpose because it's something that no one said, but it's just true. I'm looking forward to the Alliance raid. Now, I hate Alliance raids, generally. Don't enjoy 24-man content. Too much chaos. If all goes wrong, it's obviously my fault. In my head, I've just wiped 24 people. Not a fan. But saying that, I still love like Eorzea and Eorzean lore and everything about like just that one continent. So I'm hoping I just want stuff about the 12. You know, is it going to be have links to the convocation? Like that's kind of a theory that gets thrown around. I want to know. I'm excited. That's my kind of big thing.
A very good choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they linked it at one point to the actual dev team, the 12.
Oh really? I didn't know that one.
Like
I must have missed that.
It was back in the day. There was this, not exactly, but there was like one of the really early. I wish they hadn't done it so early nowadays, but you know, you got the Rising event where you celebrate the anniversary of the game.
Mm-hmm.
One of the earliest ones, they actually recreated the office inside the game.
All right.
And that's where they actually teased Red Mage and Samurai.
All right.
There's some like dev staff talking about Red Mage and Samurai and Doom Train inside the little office. Everyone thought it was a joke, but then obviously it found out they were real. It was just. But no, then there was like 12 people from the team like in a cutscene stood like in a circle round the player character.
Oh, that's it. I didn't know that.
It's not really, but it was just like they made like a little connection between them.
Yeah. Oh, I think they should make that canon.
It was a fun little event.
I think that should be canon.
I mean, who else is the gods of the game but the people that made the game, technically?
Yeah, exactly. So who would Soken be? Like, I feel like Soken would be one of the chaotic ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. That's everything, I think. I was going to say one more thing, and it's completely just kind of floated away. as tends to happen. So what we'll do is I think we will start wrapping up, because I am just like, this has been the most enjoyable, exhausting episode of Just Sort of Casual I've ever done.
Don't tell Beth.
Yeah, I know. We'll get Beth back. Don't you worry. She is even though she doesn't like to admit it, she is equal parts co-host. She thinks she's just kind of along for the ride, but she's maybe a bit off more than she can chew, because I'm not going to stop like nagging her about stuff. So we'll start with Fox. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to make?
Putting pressure on me now, Tim.
Literally warned you about this.
My own shout outs or shout outs to other people?
Whatever you want.
Everyone in the chat knows where to find me.
Yeah.
It's Foxinn Plays on Twitch, and it's Foxinn on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm on at the moment.
Is there anyone you want to kind of like mention or anything like that? Anyone out there that you...
Everyone I would mention is already either in the chat or in the call. So,
that's absolutely fair.
All of you lovely people.
Yeah, cool.
Check each other out.
Yeah, we do. We that it's all we're all friends here. You got any shout-outs, Chille?
I'd like to shout out to everyone in the call right now. Thank you so much it's nice to chat with you. I know I haven't really chatted with Foxinn and Dad TV before, so it was lovely to meet you for the first time in voice call. I know I've met you before, but we never actually talked.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I'd like to shout out to Dib and Salts for having me on. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. And of course, I'd love to shout out to Maelstrom Radio, to She Heals I Tank, to all the other Fantasy 14 podcasts out there. If you're 18 plus, I'd like to shout out to Warriors of Lust as well, but make sure you're 18 plus and also have headphones on.
Yeah, I knew you'd do that, Chille. So I've just mentioned the Moogle Go Round as well.
What?
Yeah, what?
She Heals I Tank.
Yeah.
And radio.
Do you have any shout-outs?
Fireheart.
Are we going to do this all the rest of the stream now? You're just going to shout people out in the chat? No, it's fine. Gareth, do you have anyone to shout out, mate?
You know what? I'm just going to shout out every single person in the FF14 community, because this is probably one of the most welcoming communities I've ever seen.
Fair.
So thank you to everyone.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm going to shout out to Beth, because I would not be doing this without her. Definitely not. I would never have the confidence to put a podcast up on the internet where other people can listen. Not a chance. So Susan wants you to list everyone, the community by name. I also want to shout.
Give me a year.
Give me a year.
Susan, Flatus, Susan.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'd like to shout out to Flatus of Maelstrom Radio. Before this episode, I went to him. I reached out to him to kind of get advice on like getting a layout sorted out for the screen and like how to have guests. It's surprisingly difficult. Like, kind of.
You have to capture specific parts of the screen, right, and then move them to certain places.
Yeah, but even like how to host, like, you know, like you got to research your guests. He just gave me some tips on that kind of stuff as well, because he kind of made it much less stressful. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for that. I do appreciate everything you did for me, and I got to shout out Chloe, my wife, for letting me indulge in this little hobby of mine. I get to disappear upstairs 3 or 4 times a week, and yeah, so I think that's kind of it. So you've said where you are, Foxinn. You'll be able to see it on the video as well. Where can people find you, Gareth? Because I don't think you said.
Well, you can find me on both Twitch and Twitter at DadTVGaming, or my website at dad-tv.com.
And are you going to give a serious answer if I ask you, Chille?
Sure. Are you, was that asking me?
Yeah.
I was
are you going to
give
give me a serious answer? I'm like,
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You can find me at Moogle Go Round Radio on twitch.tv/. Moogle Go Round Radio, where we do a podcast every 2 weeks. I normally stream every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Paul streams Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We've got a YouTube channel and blah 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 blah. Follow on socials at MGR, blah 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 blah.
Excellent work.
Go check out Immersion Radio. Or actually, go click Whiskers. That's better.
Yes,
Go
Team
watch everyone on
Whiskers. Yes.
Like Mioni.
Yep. We could list everyone. We could go on for another hour listing people. So yeah, I am
listing main podcast.
Yeah, I'm Tibbiant Salts. You can find me at Tibbiant Salts. I'm also on Twitch at twitch.tv/Tibbiant Salts. And yeah, that's where I live. I might change my Twitch channel name but I might not because I'm non-committal. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us on episode 7 of Just Sort of Casual. It's been a right lark. If you want, I will be on Maelstrom Radio tomorrow. I guess it'll be tomorrow. Time zones confuse me. It's Saturday morning UK time, like 2 a.m, which will be marvellous. I'm going to nap beforehand.
I'll be up, Tib. I'll watch it.
Oh, no, you'll be up. You
I'll
don't
be there.
sleep. Yeah, so you don't be there, Dad. You've got to get up early.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, Dad, go to bed early. It's fine.
Yeah.
That makes me sound old.
So yeah, we'll wrap it up there because people have things to do. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Honestly, it means the absolute world to me to have you guys on my podcast as my first guests. You are wonderful. So we will end recording now. So thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.